When people talk about Trump's immigration policies, the conversation usually stays on the surface. Border security, crime, America first. But if we're being real, there's another angle people don't talk about enough, and that's money. Because immigration enforcement in America isn't just politics, it's also a business model. See, a huge part of ICE detention in the United States is handled through private companies. Two of the biggest names are GEO Group and CoreCivic. These companies don't just support enforcement, they profit from detention. And that's where the conversation gets uncomfortable, because these same companies and their executives have also been tied to political donations and support that benefited Trump and the Republican machine. Now, let me be clear. I'm not saying every immigration decision Trump made was because of donations. Politics is bigger than that. But what I am saying is this. When the people who profit from detention are financially connected to the people shaping immigration policy, it creates a situation where enforcement can start looking less like public safety and more like supply and demand. Because think about it. If your company makes money based on how many detention beds get filled, then you don't just want order, you want volume. You want raids, you want more arrests, you want longer detentions, you want stricter rules, you want more funding, and the more the government leans into mass detention, the more contracts get extended, expanded, and renewed. That's why people argue that Trump's immigration push wasn't only about the border, it was also about building a system where ICE detention became a growth industry. More money to ICE, more contracts, more beds, more bodies, more profit. And here's where it gets even darker. When profit is the priority, cost-cutting becomes the strategy. And cost-cutting doesn't just mean cheaper food or fewer resources. It can mean cheaper staffing, rushed hiring, low training standards, and weak oversight. When you're trying to run massive facilities at scale while maximizing profit margins, you're not always hiring the best of the best. You're hiring whoever can fill the shift. And that's where the cracks start showing. Because when hiring practices get rushed, when screening gets sloppy, when training gets watered down, you open the door for what a lot of people call bad characters to slip in. People who shouldn't have authority over vulnerable detainees. People who don't belong in a position of power. People who treat detainees like they're not human beings. Because in a profit system, detainees stop being people and start being inventory. And that's the part Americans need to sit with. Because if we're detaining people, whether you agree with immigration enforcement or not, the question should never be, how do we do it cheaper? The question should be, how do we do it legally, humanely, with accountability? But private detention doesn't thrive on humanity. It thrives on contracts. It thrives on bodies. It thrives on political fear cycles. And when the government starts treating immigration like a never-ending emergency, private companies treat it like a never-ending payday. So when you look at Trump's immigration actions, you have to ask, was it only about stopping illegal immigration? Or was it also about feeding a system that rewards detention expansion? Was it about law and order? Or was it about keeping the detention machine running at full speed? Because here's the truth. You can't build a detention economy and then pretend it's not going to influence policy. You can't allow private companies to profit off incarceration and detention, then act surprised when the system starts pushing for more arrests, more detentions, and more aggressive enforcement. And if we don't start talking about the money behind immigration policy, we'll keep arguing about the border while ignoring the bigger issue, that for some people, immigration enforcement isn't about security at all. It's about profit. And when profit becomes the motivation, human rights become optional. So here's the real question. Should any company be allowed to profit from detention in the first place? Or does that automatically create incentives that will always lead to abuse, corruption, and bad hiring practices? Drop your opinion, because this is one of those conversations America keeps dodging, and it might be the most important one.